Hello and good morning. It's Priscilla Batzel in Spring Hill, Florida. Oh gosh, I just set my timer wrong. Anyway, we've got 20 minutes before my camera stops. And we've had a twister whip through the area this morning, so I just got the power back on. I was a little worried. So I've got a 14 by 14 inch canvas here in front of me. The weather is very nice. I said it was Priscilla Batzel at Expressionist Art Studio in Spring Hill, Florida. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, I'm having one of those moments. I've been editing for days with my friend Jackie, who's the editor, and my brain is a lot scrambled. It's just too many words. But, so I've got a 14 by 14 inch canvas. I also have, where did I put it? I have this piece of refuse packaging, which I absolutely love, which reminds me of my bead tray. Both things I call reservoirs, and I put paint in them. And generally speaking, my glasses are a big assistance. Generally speaking, what? No, I warned you my brain was a little fried. Anyway, generally speaking, I use those for pouring lots of paint into different colors and mixing them. And I want to do something really different, really simple, and I'm not sure where it's going to go from where it starts, but what I usually do with the reservoirs is pour a whole bunch of colors from my squeeze bottles right into them and then scoop out of them. But what I've been thinking is, wouldn't it be nice if just once I tried to make myself, I guess what you would call a puddle pour in the center, but not trying to make it into any kind of uniform puddle at all. This is my OXO omelet turning spatula, and you can pick these up on my Amazon link. They're like the best paint spreading tool that I have ever had, and I recommend them. They're about 10 bucks. Buy the larger one, not the smaller one. The larger one has a more flexible blade, and it's better for our purposes. I put it in water to keep the paint from sitting. I have a lot of little bottles around with paint in them, and a bug. I saw that bug. I don't have any idea how a bug could get in that bottle, to tell you the truth. But I recognize a gnat when I see one. Anyway, I'm not sure how far I'm going to get with this. And there's a marble in there. And the marbles do fall in the top. I'm thinking about switching to, I saw those lumps too. I'm thinking about switching to nuts with holes in the center. That way the paint can always, yes, something large, can always flow through the tip. And I'm going to just try my hardest to pick my favorite colors here. And I've shaken up all of my paint, because it all has pouring medium in it in advance. I'm going to try and wipe off my tip and clear my tips. I did not take time to do that, and I probably should have. So I'm going to get whatever I get. So this is pretty much the way I usually apply my colors, right into whatever reservoir I'm going to then scoop out of. But since often I like those colors, I thought it would be kind of cool to try and do it right into the puddle in the center of my canvas. As long as I like the colors, I should be safe. And if I add white, it'll still be the catalyst it is any other place. And it means that I can use my, is that a bubble or thing? It means because I put a white coat of paint on the background that I can use my neon colors, and that they will stay somewhat neon when they dry. But the question of tips is, there we go. If I give it a little bit of a pressure squeeze on the bottle, then I don't have so much trouble getting it out. What else do I want in there? I kind of like everything I've got so far, and that was the point, by the way, just to use what you like and put it where you want. And scooping it out of a container is great, but I've got to try at least once to find out what happens when we do it this way, you know? I should leave more white, but I'm kind of figuring I can add it on afterwards. Is this another cloud tip? Whoop. And I love gold, and I think doing it this way I might be able to keep more gold. I don't know. We'll find out together. That is the plan. But if I start out putting them kind of where I would like them, then I have a better shot, in my opinion, of keeping them where I would like them. I still don't see that I have much red in there. My red is a very magenta red. There are other reds. Red-orange is quite different. But I would like enough of a puddle so that when I tip this, or use any number of tools, any number of tools being, not that knife, my silicone basting brush with 2/3 of the bristles removed, or number 3, the pointy one, or number 6, the long one, or number 5, the round one, or number 1, the flat fronts. I have 2 of those. I like my diagonal a lot, number 4, and my little rectangle, number 2, are all very, very useful tools for swiping, and I found that out recently. I can also put chain in there, and I've made myself up some shorter chains, but I think we're going to definitely start the way I planned, and just use what we've got to begin with. And maybe just a little bit more of that Prussian blue with the Decor pouring medium in. And see what we get from tipping. Can we tip? Can we even tip? Yes, we can. And what happens if we just squeeze paint into a puddle in the center? I see for a start that I want more orange, which I basically lately have wanted a lot more of. But that bottle is going to get replaced by a bowl soon, I think. Especially since it's squeezing out sideways. Now I have this beautiful metallic shimmering purple, which I think started out as the Folk Art neon purple, which has been added to or replaced by the alternative company to Folk Art is called Plaid. And Plaid and Folk Art are pretty much one and the same as far as I can figure out. But Plaid is being offered at Walmart now in the neon purple, which made me very happy. So I'm getting to change my composition, and I know I don't have too much paint on yet. I hope. We'll see. I'm trying not to put my tops back on because I might try and make another artwork after this. I've got edge catchers. Edge catchers are just plastic sheets, kind of heavy plastic sheets covered with paint now, that I use to stop paint from flowing off the edge, and to pull paint against an edge catcher and then be able to throw it back on, and in this case tip it down in a different direction, so that I have the full capacity to change my pattern. But I forgot to tip it a little bit on the edge. You have to tip it if you want to cover the edge. So I'm going to go back where I was and use the paint that was there. Yep, that worked. And continue on. And I'm going to take a moment and check it out and see if I've got something I want put somewhere else, and I almost always do. And I think that the black and or the Prussian blue add some drama that I want. And I haven't done any swiping yet, but it doesn't mean that I won't. I think I want to throw some white in there too, because I don't know what that'll do either. This is, I mean, it seems so simple, but it's all about what colors next to each other, i.e. the white or the black, create cells. I must have a breeze because I've got some strange things in my paint. Alright, so I'm going to tip the canvas to see where the majority of that paint is landing. And then I'm going to continue to use my edge catcher, and, whoops, and I'm going to pull that paint right down here, as much of it as I want, because it will change what's up there already by throwing it right back in. I got to squeeze it over. I got to remind myself to squeeze it over, and then I'm going to tip it back without the edge catcher, and then I'm going to throw it down again, getting some really sort of multi-directional random patterns. And I may keep this first one and decide that it's a good method for using chain. I've got to remember to squeeze that over. I can even wipe it right up. And those are all pretty cool. I'm liking that pattern. And this is a perfect example of a good time to contemplate using the chain or the torch. And the torch will firm up the surface of the paint. Skewers will agitate the paint so that it will sell like these little cells you see down here. Whoops, I just lost a top. But I don't have much left of this. And the marble keeps lodging in the tip, which is a little distracting. I don't mind borrowing paint from another area. There's enough paint crossing over itself so that if I wanted to bring a bendy straw into this, and or my medical tubing, which serves the same purpose. I'm going to be out of your view, I think, for a moment while I let my paint go over the edge and touch on it. And I like everything I've got here so far. I've just got to check that I'm as covered as I want to be, and I'm sort of covered. I'm not going to have any paint in a receptacle to dip into to make the sides cohesive, but I think we could probably steal paint right from the surface and not worry about it. Where's my white? My white is right there. I see that little dollop of schmutz, whatever it is, and I don't like it. So I'm going to touch my edges. I didn't start with my edges covered. I really like that black. I like it so much I'm going to put some up here because I think that's going to be very easy to have it sell. If I mess with it, and I am going to mess with it. I'm going to take the paint right off the skewer onto my finger and touch it to the edge of the canvas. I have not torched. I don't know why not. But this is just basically really just playful. I want a little bit of paint over the edge. But that's yellow and purple, which will probably make some mud. So let's see what happens when we torch. In theory, it should break open some cells. It's just fun and colorful. Tip this way, tip that way. Lots of colors I like. I've got 5 minutes left before my timer goes off. I'm going to pull out my straw if I can find it. It looks like it's a bendy straw for now. Bendy part down. And use it as an aiming tool toward what you want it to be on. Yeah, I think that's okay. I did have some nice cells down there, but I'm not minding what happened when I blew them over the edge either. What else do I want to do to that? I could take the silicone basting brush and see what happens when I pull, but I kind of like everything that's going on. I really like this in here, so even though I like everything else, I think I'm going to see if I can slide some of it the other way. And then back again. So this is a pretty simple concept, and it shows you don't actually have to make a dirty pour to get some interesting things happening. I particularly like this color orange with the brighter red orange. I think it usually zhuzhes things up, pleases me very much. So I'm just going to go nuts and have some of that. I don't need much more. But like I said, it makes me happy, so why not do it? Give yourself permission. Make yourself happy. I want to try that. Then just do it. And the skewer is less invasive than using a small spatula as a swipe tool. This would be a perfect piece to dip chain into, but I don't really mind what's going on enough to want to change it. I'm going to steal some paint from right in the heavy areas. And I'm going to look at my edges to see if I need to do that again right now. I'm going to steal a little more paint. Yep, rain pouring down. I don't mind any of that. I think it's kind of cool just like it is, and I like it very much. And all I'm going to do is tell you that if you want to be of assistance to me and help me keep painting like the other contributors, and thank you very much to all my other contributors, I have PayPal and Patreon in the description underneath the video, where if you contribute, you will more than likely be entered in a contest to choose one of 3 paintings if I have your correct phone number, address, and email address, which usually comes with a PayPal donation. Hopefully that will work out this time, because I'm still working on making sure the first winner has the chance to collect their winnings, which has not happened. So I think I'm going to draw another name, and you'll know that by the time this video gets added. So I also have Teespring Clothing, where I'm designing leggings and sweatshirts and t-shirts, long sleeve and short sleeve, and they're all pretty cool. They're definitely worth a look. And if you click on any of the items of clothing, it will bring you to my store there. I'm going to add a little bead of white all the way along the edge, because if it's on the edge, it will also fall over, and I will be able to cover the missing area. Yeah, I thought I would drop something in there, but I think I won't. So I have enough paint left on my finger to do that again and again. Sometimes I get a little schmutz on there, and that may make it less likely for me to want to do that, but it's working so far. So I'm covered. In the description below the video, you will also find a list of Facebook albums, volumes 1 through 3, that show the YouTube wet and dry artworks. And right there at the bottom with my Pinterest are my Pinterest board links, and also, this is pretty cool, and also my Instagram. I'm pretty happy with this. This is pretty simple, and that's that. I have over 360 videos, so if you like what you just saw, go see some others. There are quite a few that are a lot more complicated than this one. I do sell my artwork, so if you would like to be an art collector of my studio, please just leave me a comment on YouTube, which reminds me, thank you so much for all the great comments, you guys. You rock. You make my day every time, really and truly, with your beautiful words. And I love you. I say that sometimes. That looks like something that does not belong in there. Yes, it is. It is something that does not belong. That happens working outside. Okay, so whatever it was has become integrated. Now it's a little bunch of swirlies. So we're all good with that. I don't know what I've forgotten other than thank you for joining me. We have 38,500 subscribers and climbing. Oh, the book I've been working on for 3 days. I mentioned that. I'm almost done with the book. Me and my editor are finishing up the best we can to fix my weird grammar and worst spelling and rewrite a few things. And I'm looking at this, and I'm seeing that I want some other stuff, and I know I have a couple minutes left. Yep. I don't know if that's exactly what I should have done, but I did it, so there it is. It doesn't bother me, she says, trying to convince herself. Nope, I'm good. Let that fall right over the edge. Perfect. Look at that. Excellent. Don't mind that a bit. Lots and lots and lots of beautiful little cells and other. And that yellow does not have to stay just yellow and lonely. I have other colors hanging around that I can throw in there. And I'm going to call that done and tell you again, thank you for joining me. Hope my head wasn't in the way too much. So just paint from squeeze bottles or paints from container right in the middle of your canvas on a wet canvas, and you may get something similar to that if you just decide to stick with it. Torch for cells. Oh yes, we torch to get rid of the air bubbles in the paint. A really important thing to do. So, I told you guys I love you. I'll tell you again I love you. Come again. I'll see you in the next video. Priscilla out. Bye for now.